What's up, ranch hands? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are, the Yellowstone finale. And we've got, I think, 2 or 3 things that need to be tied up in this finale. One of the big ones, Casey at the end of the episode started asking Beth all these questions about like, if I bought your $300,000 car for $1, what would I be charged in the taxes on that? And like, Beth didn't grasp the idea right away, but then the wheel started turning in her head and was like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? And then she runs and talks to Casey and is like, who are you gonna sell it to? Talk about the ranch. The idea is to sell the ranch to someone for very little amount of money. And he has this plan that that's gonna be the way to save the ranch. And as we were watching, I couldn't think of what the situation was, but after we stopped and we kind of talked about it for a second, Nikki came up with the idea that was like, duh, hello, that makes so much sense.
The reservation.
Yeah, to Thomas. Yeah, it would make so much sense.
They've literally got to. We've seen so many fucking episodes with like Thomas coming to comfort Beth. Like, I would keep this ranch together. My people have had this for this many years. Like, all I want to do is make it whole. Like, it totally fucking makes sense.
Yeah. And as soon as you said that, it was literally one of those like, it was literally sitting in front of our face. Like, hello, duh, that makes the most sense. And my big thing is like, Thomas's storyline has kind of just flatlined for a while, I feel like.
Yes.
Ever since that episode where like the president was showing up to do like a talk.
Yes.
His storyline has kind of just been pushed aside, but he's still been making appearances. And I'm like, what is this dude's ultimate end game here?
Right.
He's gonna save the ranch. That's where it goes.
Right. They just
Thomas
been,
is
like,
going to be the one.
in the wings, like waiting for something to happen to him or for him.
Yeah. So he's been just sitting there, and his story has been waiting for this conclusion, and it 100% makes sense that he's the one to take the ranch, buy it for nothing, and then preserves the land and saves everything and ultimately rescues what they wanted to rescue. And
then you can get rid of the airport because the agreement wasn't with Thomas. It was with the previous owners.
Can
you sell it while it's under contract of lease? Does the lease go through even though you have a new owner? Like,
I don't know all those answers.
All that shit, like all the logistics of it all, I don't understand, but like, I'm sure that they will gladly tell us.
It's very interesting that Casey was the one to come up with that. And then like even Beth was like, you're so much smarter than you look. And obviously Tate had to throw in his little jab. But that storyline, it's awesome. I hope it works. Like, Casey obviously still has to coordinate in terms of, like, I'm assuming he's going to go talk to Thomas. That's my thought. I mean, everything that just the relationship that Thomas has had with this family specifically, it makes the most sense. So we'll see where that goes and see if that's actually what happens. Apparently, we're getting a John funeral, which I feel like is going to be a really emotional send-off. To a character and a situation that it's kind of a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. We were talking about it before we started recording, and the whole John Dutton storyline is a very difficult one. And ultimately, like I said it like an episode ago or 2 episodes ago, I hated the way the reveal happened in the very open of part 2 of this final season. But then like they gave us the actual episode to show us what went down. That helped soften it a little bit. And it's just one of those things to where the story and the characters around John, they're really powerful and very well written and really awesome. Like, whether you love or hate the characters, they're amazing characters. Jamie, amazing. Beth, amazing. Casey and Rip and all the other folks that make the Yellowstone show what it is, they've all got amazing roles. And I think they've all done an excellent job of lifting it back up in terms of like dealing with, because I mean, that's got to be a really tough spot for them too. So everything worked out really well. I feel like it's softened the landing a little bit in terms of what I thought was going to be an absolute crash. I mean, Taylor Sheridan in his last episode was absolutely ridiculous. Saw the uproar and the response of him and his character doing that to Beth and that whole thing, inserting himself the way that he did, and model girlfriend and all that stuff. I didn't love that.
I'm not a huge fan of that episode. It felt very out of character for Yellowstone. Beth would have never.
It feels like it.
Never.
Yeah. She wouldn't have fallen for that. It doesn't seem like it.
And the story that Rip even told, I felt like that was the out of character story for Rip.
I mean, he spoke more in that one line, like one story than he has like in
the
this whole show.
entire season, series.
Like, there's been a few episodes here leading up to the end that just felt like certain parts of it were dragging. I felt like Casey was the one storyline, and obviously the Jamie one, because we still need to figure that out. We'll talk about that in a second. But like, Casey's been the one progressing the story, I feel like, the most.
100%.
But we'll see where this goes, and we'll see how this all wraps up. It was just kind of one of those funny, random things. Like the strip poker thing and Taylor Sheridan just like tricking Beth into doing all that. Like, I saw the outrage and I kind of chuckled about it, but I see why people would be really upset about it.
I mean, just even the way Beth acted with Teeter at the bar, she would have ripped him a fucking new one. I mean, I know she needs him for certain things, but like, she would have, in the funniest way possible, ripped him a fucking new one. Yeah, so the big last storyline that I think we need to talk about is Jamie. And he went and visited his ex-girlfriend who gave him this big plan, and you saw his whole demeanor shift from like being this weak person who feels like he's completely screwed to someone who now has a plan. He's supposed to call this press conference and say all this stuff to try to like protect himself from this murder and separate himself from Sarah. And I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. But the only right thing for me, I think you're on board with me, the way this needs to end, the way his story needs to end, is that he needs to go to the train station. He needs to be eliminated. All this stuff needs to just... Actually, I have a sticker for that. Do you need a ride to the train station? Jamie does. Yeah. And it needs to be Beth. It needs to be Rip. I don't know. I said that I feel like Casey's story was kind of like wrapped up for the most part in the last one. But I think he's going to like tie up this last bow and just like sell the land, and then he's going to be gone and off to do his thing with his family. I'm not sure about that, because I feel like if they sell it to Thomas and it becomes a part of the reservation, then Casey and Monica and Tate will stay there. Oh, that's possible. Because her people. Yeah, it's very possible. I'm curious to see how this whole relationship with Jamie wraps, because it's going to wrap. It has to. That has to have a very satisfying conclusion. Yes, and if somehow Jamie's the one standing tall at the end, I think we're gonna flip desks. And I mean, there are plenty of Jamie fans out there. They'll be happy. But it needs to be a Beth Rip situation to where they're both handling this together. Rip needs to be by her side, and not that she needs the help, but Rip should have all the knowledge of everything that's gone on between the two of them on both sides, and he should be there to support her and help her in that spot. Yeah, I really want him to. We'll see where it goes. Mm-hmm. I mean, he needs to visit the train station. He needs to be eliminated, and I just wonder how they handle this with him being, if it does go down that road, how do you handle Jamie being such a prominent figure in Montana? Oh, like, this dude just disappears. That's a difficult thing to cover up and hide. He decided to make a run for it. Yeah. But I really need Rip to know about the baby. I need It's definitely one of those things that we've both been waiting on, for Rip to know all the details of everything that happened. Part of me is like, I needed him to know that it was his baby, and then part of me is like, maybe don't tell him it was your baby. Like, I don't know how I feel about that, but I need him to know that there was a baby. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff here, a lot of emotion. I'm fully expecting it, regardless if it's good or bad. I'm still anticipating a ton of emotion, because this show, I mean, it's up there with Game of Thrones in terms of sucking out the emotion. I don't know if you've cried more in this show than anything else, or even on like the border of crying. Like, you've been close, whether like the tears have come out or not. Like, it's gotten me a few times. There's been a lot of moments, and I feel like the John thing is probably going to be a big one. And then just saying farewell to this show. It's going to be tough, because it's been a hell of a journey. It's been one of those really surprising, shocking, epic journeys that, unfortunately, the last half of this season was met with a little bit of disappointment. It didn't stick the landing perfectly with the last handful of episodes, which, again, whether you have all the crew or not and everyone is happy and on board, it's still really difficult to wrap up a series. Yes. And obviously they were faced with some obstacles. They're doing the best that they can. And I still think it's an incredible show, just for the simple fact that the cast, the characters, and the story have all been really great around John. John was that pillar. We talk about it. He wasn't the main focus all the time, but like the characters around him all made this and lifted the show up to what it is. 100%. And it's gonna be a hard farewell, without question. Yeah. But you ready for it? See where they take us with this journey? Yeah. Let's go. Oh. I didn't realize that it was a face at first. I thought we were looking like a spider web for a second. Oh, we're doing the thing with the pipeline.
Oh.
It's gotta be, right? Or they're gonna... Oh, to cover their tracks. Genius.
Wow.
We forgot to talk about the pipeline.
Oh, shit.
That's amazing.
Are they gonna drop him in the water? Holy shit.
Good for them. Good for them.
Who the hell was able to get in there and start operating that?
Hey, you could pick a
Oh, is
lock.
that dynamite?
I don't know. I can't tell. Or are they gonna sink all that stuff? Good for them. No one is poisoning our water, fuckers.
That's wild.
Wow.
That's insane. What is the result of that gonna be?
I mean, like, I don't typically agree with doing things, the illegal way, but it would have taken so many years of paperwork and bullshit, and they would have finished the project before they would have even shut down the project. So, fuck, good for them.
I mean, within the context of a show, destroy that shit. Go for it.
I mean, but also, it's poisoning their water, so fuck it, go for it. You need help?
It looked like they had a lot of help.
I know.
They mobilized a lot of folks to help follow through with that. I mean, Mo speaks. I would imagine most people are quick to follow.
Absolutely. You listen to Mo. Because Mo brings plenty.
Travis, if you're looking for like loper or turnback help, I could use the work.
Yeah, why is that? What's wrong with here?
Too many memories. Well, I can ride, I can.
Yeah, no, I've seen you ride. Let me tell you what, why don't you ask Jimmy what working for me is like, so you know what you're getting into, all right?
What's working for that asshole like?
It's a hell that has to be experienced to be fully comprehended. He's not gonna chew your ass for no reason, but he's really good at finding reasons.
I love him. Jimmy's so happy to see me every weekend. It's like a new puppy every Saturday.
Jimmy, let's go!
Aw, Teeter.
I love you, Teeter.
I lay down and wake.
Now go buy an audio book and learn how to speak fucking English, because I don't talk hillbilly and I ain't trying to fucking learn. See you in a week.
Hey, baby. Take a shower. You smell like a hyena.
How do you know what a hyena smells like?
I don't, but I assume. And I assume they smell like you.
I love that she's calling him baby now.
I know.
I want to show you something. So I'm not the expert. Run 600 pairs, irrigated, hay meadows, little house, big barn.
How many acres?
7,000 deeded, another 20 in a BLM lease. You think you could make a living here?
You're not gonna get rich, but you can pay the bills.
Well, you let me worry about the rich part.
Far from a bar.
You'll build me a bar.
That I can do. It's good country, all old ranches, and ain't nobody from the city gonna want to put up with them winters.
So you could make something like this work.
Yeah, I can make something like this work.
Well, that's a relief. I bought it this morning.
Okay, well,
Who's gonna run this place, Beth?
I'll explain that tomorrow.
Rip. Say, I don't have the energy for you today, Beth.
He's like, shit, I don't get told nothing.
No. I mean, you can't. You can't. You really.
Hello?
Morning, baby.
What was the phone call? Was it John related?
I think it's his body,
What happened?
Funeral home called. He's ready.
Can I help you with the service?
No service. Just Casey and you and the cowboys. Gonna need a preacher. The first thing my father will do in his grave is roll over in it.
Can you go get one without kidnapping gunpoint, please?
How fast can you dig a hole?
I mean, we sold the excavator, but I mean, give me a couple hours. You just tell me where.
Beside my mother.
Does everyone know where they're going?
Ethan and I hired on down to the end bar.
Oh, that's a good outfit. Teeter, how about you?
Travis hired me.
Shit, God help you. Ryan?
Think I'm just gonna wander for a bit.
Wandering don't pay so good. I just got a favor to ask.
What do you need?
Get ready and meet me outside.
You can't even say it.
No. Fuck. God damn it. Hardened
How far
cowboys.
Put him.
Well, let's put them as close as we can. And let's pile all the dirt on this side.
Last night went smooth.
They'll never be able to find them. And if they do, they'll never be able to get them. You think that'll stop them?
I think it'll anger them, then they'll make a lot of noise. Then people will start paying attention,
I hope so.
and we start making noise.
We call this East Camp. Doesn't connect with the ranch except through the BLM lease. When the wolves push in, we'd lose 40 calves this spring. Couldn't hunt them back then, so. East Camp's not big enough to run a whole outfit over here, and it's too big for one man to cover, so my grandfather shut it down. It's big enough for us. I can make a living here, get out from under the weight of this thing. My family can't afford the inheritance tax on the ranch.
I wouldn't think so.
You can't afford to buy it.
I wish I could, Casey. Only corporations have the money to buy your land. And then it is land no more.
My vision told me of two paths. On one, my family. On the other, the ranch. I could only save one. I used to think that meant that one couldn't be saved. But then I realized it only meant that I couldn't save it. But you can. When my ancestors came here, land sold for $1.25 an acre, back when it was your land. Even though you didn't sell it, that's what it sold for when they took it. And that's the price I offer you. Under two conditions. The East Camp, I keep for my family, and you can never develop the Yellowstone, and you can never sell it.
We can't sell our land, Casey. We have laws that forbid it. I made a promise to your father once that I would one day have this land, and I would return it to the state that man found it. That would remove any evidence that he had been here. I'm sure he took it as a threat. And at the time, that's how I meant it. That your people are buried in that land, and so are mine. That it's sacred, and that's how we would treat it.
That's all I ask.
Fuck. Keep it together. Ah, fuck.
This knife, where's my blood?
This knife, where's mine?
We are brothers now, to each other and to the land. I will deed this East Camp back to you, so your family forever has a home.
We're free now.
Wow. Wow. What a great moment for them.
Beth brought a ranch outside of Dillon.
A big hole.
Yeah,
Mosquitoes the size of sparrows in the summer.
true enough.
Ought to keep them fucking Californians away, though.
Yeah. So have you figured out what you're gonna do? I think we got a room for an old busted up cowboy.
I want to pull that dude string out of West Yellowstone. See if I can talk some sense into these city folks.
Good luck.
I can't cowboy here. Rather not do it at all.
Well, brother, if you change your mind, our door is always open.
Thank you.
He doesn't want to lose Lloyd.
As soon as we fill this hole, we're done.
Stop! Fuck. Oh, Lloyd.
As both the state of Montana and my family reel from the loss of our governor and my father, our suffering is compounded with new evidence that indicates foul play in the death of John Dutton. Furthermore, an attorney for the development group tasked with ushering Paradise Valley into the 21st century was found murdered in broad daylight. While no physical evidence connecting these events exists, empirical evidence screams a connection. My father's death is more than just a murder. It's the outright defiance of the rule of law. My father's murder was not just the murder of a man. It was the murder of Montanans' right to choose their representatives, and for those representatives to freely execute the will of the people. John Dutton's murder is an attack on your liberty. As the highest-ranking law enforcement agent in the state, it is my sworn duty to seek justice on your behalf, to wrest from the unjust your liberty, and to return to you your freedom.
You ain't gonna do shit, Jamie.
I was there when you called. I hope you don't mind.
You're his protector now. Why would I mind?
Oh, God damn it, Beth. Oh, shit.
He didn't like that. You made me promise not to sell an inch, and I hope that you understand that this is me keeping it. There may not be cows on it, but there won't be condos either. We won. It breaks my heart that I had to lose you to do it. I'm gonna let you rest now, Daddy. You go be with Mom. I'm ready.
I don't even know why I bothered doing my makeup for these episodes. Goddamn. He was a good boy.
Lay this upon him and say goodbye.
I think I'll say something else.
Now she's mad.
I will avenge you.
Oh, that music is so good, though.
If you have something you want to say to him, you say it. You don't have to say it out loud. You can say it in your heart.
I don't know what to say.
That's fine too, buddy.
What did you say?
I said I forgive him.
Well, John, I wore the tightest skirt I could find in your honor. You go easy on the angels up there. You will be missed and thought of often.
Wash, stay alone. You and me. I will protect this for you and for all our relations.
How does this work? Well, I believe the poles rotate and you lower the straps with that crane. So we have people who will do that. No, I'll do it.
Fucking rip, dude.
Well, it's just symbolic. It's just in case the family wants to lay the first bit of earth down. Well, it ain't symbolic today. Today, this shovel works. Would you like me to stay? No, I think we're about prayed out. If he ain't already in heaven, then he ain't going, or there ain't one.
That's a really nice preacher, honestly. Priest, preacher, I don't know, father.
This is how he deals with his emotions.
He works it out. Literally. Works. God damn. Lead foot on this chick. Every time.
She's in a mood. She's gonna go into attack mode now.
Uh-oh.
The music.
Honestly. Oh, shit.
Oh, she's taking...
Ooh, bear spray?
Oh, shit.
She's gonna gut him like a fish.
I don't even know what to say. Thank you. I want you to know I'll take care of your daughter. You have my word. I'll try and love her the same way that she loved you. I'll see you around.
Now, with respect to those attempting to invent a false narrative that involves me and Miss Atwood in a sexual relationship, I would like to point out that knowingly spreading disinformation is obstruction of justice, and my office will be treating it as such. What we have lost is a governor with a vision and a dedication to the people, the great state of Montana. And whether you shared his vision is irrelevant. Many didn't, myself included, but we respected it. What we will not lose, what I refuse to surrender to those who attack us, are the blind scales of justice that measure the metal of our Constitution against the traitors intent on destroying the freedoms Montanans cherish.
He is very good in this role.
He does speak very well. It just...
So a press conference with just a statement, no questions.
Get in! I know where she's going. Go!
Oh, it hit him.
Yeah, he was sitting there thinking about Beth the whole time, concerned about what she's doing.
Hey, baby.
I know where you're going.
Well, you're almost an hour behind. Better put the pedal to the metal, honey.
No, I need you to pull the car over.
I can't do that.
Pull over. Pull over the fucking car!
You're worried about me, so I'm gonna let the yelling slide. Don't do it again.
There's got to be another way, all right? We can come up with a plan.
I have a plan. You're a big part of it, so speed up, would you?
How about if I call Casey and see what he has to say?
You keep Casey out of this. I gave him my word. The last thing I will ever say to my father was making this promise. I'm gonna keep it.
Holy shit.
What did I say?
Oh, shit.
Ah! I know it's hard for you to understand the notion of keeping a promise.
With a tire iron.
I feel like that bear spray would have fucked him up more than what it just did.
This part of your plan? You make it too easy?
No, 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 no.
Now I call the police, and you go to prison for attempted murder. And I'll bring charges against you for the murder of our father and for Sarah. And you will fucking take every bit of it without a peep, or I will pull back the curtain on everything our father did, and everything his father did, and his father before that. Class action lawsuit's gonna take every inch of that place, and then you can sit back and watch me turn it into the most desirable recreation destination in America from your 8x8 cell in Deer Lodge.
We sold the ranch.
The fuck you did. Nobody can afford that ranch, Beth.
Sold it for $1.25 an acre. 1.1 million for the largest ranch in Montana.
We could have afforded that, huh? What do you think? Let's go take out a fucking loan. No, just kidding.
Why would you? Who?
The reservation. Your face. All your dreams. Gave me all of your fucking ambitions. Just fucking gone.
You did what?
Holy shit.
You did what? What the fuck? You did what?
Oh!
Oh my god. Please, where the fuck is Red? God damn it! Ah! No, 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 no!
You know what you're about to become? Another one of this family secrets.
Oh my god.
There you
Yes, thank you!
Wait.
She's gonna tell him right
Please,
now.
please tell him.
Oh.
Oh! Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh.
Look at me. I'm gonna be the last thing you ever fucking see.
Holy shit.
Sit.
How the fuck do you cover this up?
It's part of the plan.
I don't see a plan here, Beth.
You will. I need you to get rid of him. You know where, right?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna call 911.
What the hell is she doing?
You saved me again. I love you.
I wanted him to... And he's dead, just like that, huh?
Jamie's gone. Wow. That's not how I thought it was gonna go down.
The Yellowstone will be declared a wilderness area. Nothing can be built. There's no motorized vehicles, no bicycles. Can only be traversed on a horse or your own 2 feet.
But I don't understand where that...
Congratulations. You just made the worst land deal since my people sold Manhattan. But look at Manhattan and what it's become. Then look at your ranch. It'll never change. Thank you for the sacrifice and for saving it.
Oh, cool.
I think I need a minute.
Wow.
Casey,
I'm free.
you've always been free. This is closure. This is forgiveness.
It's freedom too. Free from this. He's digging for his supper, I think.
They don't dig for supper.
What's he digging for then?
A den, building a home. Guess he likes it here too.
Great, there goes my chicken coop.
You won't have any problems with that, Wolf. That one ain't real.
And how can we see it?
Guess it's our vision too now.
I love this for Casey.
Too.
It's the ending he deserved for sure.
I want to put this O2 monitor on your finger, okay?
Is she gonna be like, I went to see him to confront him about this photo or this video that I have. He beat my ass and then left. Is that what her plan is gonna be?
She make a statement?
She came here after their father's funeral, which he chose not to attend, confronted him about it, accused him of involvement in their father's death. He started beating her, tried to fight him off. He got her on her back and punched her until she was unconscious. Woke up, he was gone.
He was sleeping with that attorney. I saw her here, this house right there. Naked as the day she was born. If I were you, I would be looking for LLCs in her name. And then I would be looking for large wire transfers to numbered offshore accounts. That is how you will find the people who killed my father. Sarah Atwood is the bitch that paid for it. My brother is the piece of shit that ordered it. And I am evidence of what he is willing to do to prevent someone from looking into it.
Fucking Beth, dude.
Honestly.
Holy shit.
Damn, she's good. She's good.
Are they gonna send his vehicle too?
Probably should.
Yeah. That way there's no... Because if you can't find him, but his vehicle's somewhere that it's supposed to be, it makes it look like he's missing as foul play versus you dump his car with his body. Bye, Jamie. It was a pleasure. You were an incredible character. Loved to hate you, bud. I mean, it's a newer car. Maybe there's a tracker on it or something. You
Right,
don't
that's
wanna,
is there
You
a...
don't want them to track it to the train station? Oh,
they're gonna torch it. It's a nice car. Damn.
It's a Durango.
I mean, they do have a lot of Dodge vehicles in this show. I love Lloyd so much.
In yet another bizarre turn in the death of Governor John Dutton, Lewis and Clark County has filed aggravated assault and domestic violence charges against Attorney General Jamie Dutton, whose vehicle was found by authorities in central Idaho.
Oh, damn, they drove it to Idaho.
The vehicle was intentionally set on fire in what appears to be an attempt to destroy evidence. Lewis and Clark officials have not ruled out additional charges, and the state assembly is meeting later today to begin impeachment proceedings against the Attorney General.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Teeter. Teeter is the reason why I want to get my hair pink. I don't know if I want to do my whole head pink or just the front.
I can't wait to ride one of them blade aces.
I thought I told you to get a book on speaking English.
I listened to it the whole way at me.
Yeah? Well, it didn't work. You think I'd ever let you get on a horse like this? Go to the cutting pen. Get on a turnback horse. Turn back for Spud. There's a horse tied there named Mankiller. Tied to the fence with a chain. Have fun with that.
Good to see you, Teeter.
Yeah, you too. Till I fucking die on the back of a horse named Mankiller.
He's a sweet horse.
I love Jimmy. Goddamn.
Just one.
All I got left is standing room.
Standing room is fine.
Oh, he's gonna go after his woman.
Hopefully she ain't got another cowboy. She promised that she'd wait, right? Last time we saw them together.
Where do y'all learn that? Drape yourself like a scarecrow and it somehow looks cool?
Yeah, called 14 hours a day in the saddle.
How's Texas treating you?
Yeah, that's right. Looks like it's treating you pretty good.
Can't complain. It's good to see you.
I made a mistake. Picked the wrong thing.
Thought you were playing your Super Bowl.
I did, and we lost.
Damn you cowboys. You'll write poems about a horse, but you can't tell a woman how you feel.
You want to know how I feel?
Yeah, I do.
You won my Super Bowl, and that's how I feel. Man, that sounded a lot cooler coming up a bit in my truck.
Explain to me what that means.
It means that when I'm laying under the stars in West Texas tonight, all I can think about is you.
When you go back to the ranch,
I don't go back to the ranch. I go where you go.
you quit your job.
I am gonna need another one. How much does moving all this heavy shit around pay?
It's better than cowboys.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, but I got another job in mind for you. Let me introduce you to life on a bus.
I'll take it.
That's cute.
Rips the last one there.
That's the way it should be.
We figured that you'd want this.
I'm gonna start my own brand. Why don't y'all use it?
All right, well, we'll keep it at our place. And if you change your mind, just let me know.
I won't.
How many pairs are you thinking around?
I think I can do 300.
That's a lot of work for a man and a boy.
Yeah.
But if you need any help, you just let me know. Give me a holler, man.
I will. I'll need it.
All right, brother.
Oh, brother.
Wow, look at that shot.
I know, that is pretty. Is Beth gonna take the door? At least? No? Or they're taking apart the house. Oh. Interesting.
He did literally say we're going to restore it back to what it was.
Yeah, that makes
These
sense.
big-ass houses weren't here before. Wow. That's sad. But I get it. Oh.
Oh no. Oh dear. Are you supposed to be doing that, honey?
Hey!
Oh.
Stop! They protected this land. They died for this land. And this land is where they'll stay. Go back.
Oh, shit. Mo. Elsa.
141 years ago, my father was told of this valley, and here's where we stayed. 7 generations. My father was told they would come for this land, and he promised to return it. Nowhere was that promise written. It faded with my father's death, but somehow lived in the spirit of this place. Men cannot truly own wild land. To own land, you must blanket it in concrete, cover it with buildings, stack it with houses so thick people can smell each other's supper. You must rape it to sell it. Raw land, wild land, free land can never be owned. But some men pay dearly for the privilege of its stewardship. They will suffer and sacrifice to live off it, and hopefully teach the next generation to do the same.
Wow, God, that is so
And if they falter,
pretty.
find another willing to keep the promise.
I love the tie-in to 1883. As we're watching this, we're 3 episodes in. I was going to say, like, the best part so far, like, Elsa's voiceover and narration on 1883 has been awesome. I love that they tied it into this as we saw her gravestone. Riding off into the sunset with his new crop of cows.
I want all that. That is like the cutest house ever. I don't want the winter though. I just want it to be springtime all the time.
You seem happy.
I am happy.
I'm getting happy.
Good.
There's a bar in town. Went there for lunch. 2 old guys playing dominoes. Said they make a mean steak for dinner. They asked the bartender about tourists. He just laughed at me. I said, well, do tourists pass through here? And he said, yeah, they pass through, but we don't let them stop.
Perfect for Beth.
Sounds like my kind of place.
Yeah.
There's a hitching post out front in case we want to ride.
Well, saddle your horse.
I don't think he needed to know. He didn't need to know. He didn't need his heart broken. Is that Willie Nelson?
Wow. All right. It's the end of the Yellowstone.
I'm sad.
Wow.
Sad but happy.
I mean,
There's still some things I have questions about.
under the circumstances of all the real life stuff that went down, I think this finale did the best it could.
Yeah.
I think under this current like, if all things were perfect and everything went, I don't think I would have loved the last handful of episodes. But you kind of got to grade this one on a curve a little bit because they were dealing with real life issues and drama and situations that apparently I still haven't looked all the way into it. I'm probably not going to. But it's just one of those things where real life had an impact on the show. And I think they did the best that they can. Mm-hmm. There are moments that you kind of roll your eyes at in certain spots. But I think overall, Casey got the life that he wanted and deserved. I think Beth and Rip, I am blown away and shocked that Rip made it out of this show.
Honestly, there were some times we thought he was going to definitely die.
I mean, once the second half started, I kind of was like, okay, I feel like he's in the clear. But, like, leading up to, like, this final season, I was always concerned about Rip.
Like, they were just going to take him just to hurt you.
Yeah, just because he's, like, one of the characters who does all the dirty work. And even in this one, he did all the dirty work. He had to go
and Lloyd.
Yeah.
I was worried about Lloyd, too.
I mean, the idea that Lloyd outlived John, it's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy. But I feel like Beth and Rip got the life that they both earned and deserved and wanted. And, I mean, Jamie, like, again, I know there's a lot of folks out there who like Jamie, who defended Jamie, who sympathized with Jamie. I thought he went out the way he needed to. I thought, I mean, the plan that Beth came up with, I thought was pretty effective and really well done.
Yeah, so he couldn't spread any of the family secrets, and she tarnished his name.
Yeah. I've always, like, I started feeling sympathy for him literally in one aspect of his life. The way people use and abuse him, and the way people always figure out a way to manipulate him.
Because
like,
he's weak.
You grow to sympathize with him as a character in this show. But at the bottom line, it's like, I was always, and Nikki as well, we were always going to be on Team Beth. I thought...
Even though some of her actions, I can't defend those.
Yeah, I mean...
She did some fucked up shit. I can't defend that.
It goes back to...
Her as a person, I feel like she's a good person. Don't fuck with anybody that she loves. I get that. But I can't defend some of the things.
I mean, it goes back to, like, all the shows that we've watched. They've all had flaws. They've all done bad things. They've all had moments that you're like, ugh, I don't know about that one. But, like, Beth, as a character, I don't think it would have worked if she was any other way. Her chaos and mayhem and literally being a tornado created so much unknown and unpredictability with what this show was going to bring. And I thought her character was so core to, like, driving so much of this drama, because if she wasn't the way that she was, maybe the show would be a little bit less interesting. Like, I firmly believe that. Like, I defend her character just in the sense that she brought so much entertainment to the show.
Absolutely.
In terms of the style of this show. If you were trying to find some, like, calm, chill, rom-com style, like, show, like, she doesn't fit in that. But if we're dealing with, like, cowboys and outside threats and people going crazy and fighting each other, and, like, I mean, the first episode, we lost one of their siblings. Like, we lost one of John's child. Like, Lee died in the first episode. And it's just one of those things where she fits this type of show. The idea that, like, someone was always coming for John and coming for the land, she fit this perfectly. I think the overall story would have lacked a little bit if she wasn't as over the top as she was. I know some people got tired with, like, the repetitiveness of her behavior and her mindset and her attitude, but again, I thought it fit and drove the show. I thought it was excellent for what this show was trying to deliver in terms of a story. And I mean,
I loved her passion. Her passion and her love for Rip and her family, like
John.
Yeah.
I mean, John
and Casey.
John's another debate for probably another time. But, like, this dude, I've always kind of defended him doing the best that he could do under the circumstances. Like, losing his wife early, losing the mom of all your kids when they're still young. And always kind of, like, he's pretty cold. He's very easy to, like, get rid of people. Like, the moment things went wrong with, like, Jamie was, like, dead to him. Like, he was able to push him out. And, like, even the one time that Beth disappointed him, he was quick to, like, kick her out. Like, those aspects of him as a father obviously needed a lot of work, and probably not Father of the Year. Just gonna throw it out there. But, like, overall as a character also with him, it's just, I thought he did the best that he could under the circumstances that he was given. Considering the threats constantly evolving and never stopping, and going back to the original promise that he made to his father about never giving up the land, never selling it. I think John was dealt a pretty tough hand, but I think he also made things worse for himself in certain spots. But again, I think he did the best that he could under the circumstances with the, you know, situation he was given. I'm overall relatively fine with this finale and with how it was. Again, there were a couple things in this last part of this last group of episodes that there are moments that you just roll your eyes at. You're like, did that need to be in there? Did we need to waste time on that? Of course, there are always elements of that stuff. But again, under the circumstances, I think it was a fine finale. I thought it was fine.
So, I mean, like, there's the assumption that I'm going to make with Clara. Clara, I never got, like, a, you know, because she said, I can't do this to the new governor, and asked Linnell for a job. And then Linnell's like, you know, technically, you don't work for anyone. You can just spill the beans. I'm going to assume that that's how the shit got out of Jamie, unless it was Beth, because I feel like Beth kind of took the responsibility for that when she was on the private jet, the PJ. But there's some little aspects I'm like, well, whatever happened to this? Or
there's a lot of what if
And I'm just
question
gonna
marks.
have to let those go because obviously I'm not ever gonna get an answer. So
I think the leaking of the Jamie information, I think that was Beth, because that one investigator had questions the moment he met Jamie. So I think Beth spilled the beans on all the Jamie stuff, and then probably showed like, look, I followed them in there. Like, I think she got photos, right? Or did she not take video? I thought she took some evidence of them hooking up in the shower.
She took a picture of Sarah Atwood's license. And
Yeah.
then we never got the like, that's not actually your name.
Right. So that whole thing kind of went to the side because she started then saying like, oh, look up Sarah Atwood and her connection to land and purchases and like offshore accounts and all that stuff. So
I also have a question. Is there like the original script like of the stuff that would have happened had Kevin Costner not left the show?
I guarantee Taylor Sheridan had
love to read that.
To know exactly what the official plan was.
Yes.
I think John, his death was always inevitable. I hated the way it happened in this show.
Yeah.
Like the off screen, like Beth showing up to the house and like the panic ensuing, like all of that stuff. I hated it. Because I always viewed a character like John and any major character in any show or movie that you watch, they deserve a certain death. And I always value the way a character dies. And because it's essentially like the send-off, I feel like the way, if you could kill off major characters and you do it well, I think that's a really big kind of like feather in your cap kind of thing, because it's not an easy thing to do. And there have been many shows that have killed many major characters, and some good, some not good. You see it in movies and shows. Like John deserved a pretty wild death. And I just thought the off-screen thing and then getting the episode like 2 or 3 episodes later, that helped a little bit because you saw how it played out, but you knew that was never John. Or, I mean, you knew that wasn't Kevin Costner, which obviously hits hard in terms of trying to execute that kind of death.
Right.
But I always felt it was inevitable.
Yeah.
And that it was always going to be on Beth and Casey essentially to figure this whole thing out and get past it and like life without John as the father, the protector.
Well, it made sense, like especially like in previous episodes when she's like, the first thing I'm gonna do after you die is, you know, burn this or sell this or do whatever with this and that.
Obviously, it was all empty threats.
Yeah.
Because
she didn't.
Right.
And didn't she say she was gonna burn the table?
She was gonna do something to it, like destroy it for sure. I don't remember what her specifics were.
I like the way that they kind of like, you know, showed her look at the table.
Yeah.
Because I think that was important because that was like a big deal, that table.
For sure. And I mean, the Thomas storyline, like we talked about it in the intro, and his story kind of just was in cruise control for a while. Mm-hmm. I felt like once the presidential thing happened when they were like shooting the dogs at his place and like all that stuff, and his successor was trying to run for office and take his spot, I felt like from that moment his story was just kind of over. But he was constantly there because treading water, just like reminding everyone that he's still there and that he has a role here. And then when Casey came up with the plan to sell it to him for $1.25, I thought that was pretty epic. And it made everything come full circle, like literally and figuratively, in terms of this show and for like the bigger story about him and his people and like them taking the land and getting it taken from them. And now it's back to him and his people. I thought that was an incredible story. I love the way that happened for him. And then Mo at the end there, like Mo was one of those characters. I mean, he was so awesome.
I love him.
He like him and Lloyd are like, in terms of like side characters, like I think you could classify them as side characters.
And Jimmy.
I mean, those two specifically, though, the way they had the impact on the emotion in the story, I love those two so much.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they were some of the best written characters that obviously didn't get a big focus or a ton of screen time. Jimmy, obviously, his story was incredible. And I love that we still got glimpses of him here and there, like on these last handful of episodes. Yeah, we didn't
just forget about him.
I thought for sure his time was over. Like, the last time we saw him for, like, at the Sixes, but... he came back because he was there with Travis to help with things, and like I really appreciated seeing him again. And his character arc and development and story was pretty awesome. I I still don't like. I know it's just fun and it's just the way Travis is, but I hate that he kept shitting on Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's like, we get it, bro. Like,
I know.
you're a certain.
He's
dude.
dumb.
Like, yeah.
He makes bad decisions. I get it.
I think a lot of people will agree with this. Like, tell me what you think. I think towards the end, down the stretch, I think there was just a little bit too much Travis in the show. Yeah. That's just kind of my thought.
Yeah,
but,
I didn't need to see where Travis lived, where Travis played.
Yeah.
Where Travis played.
Did his things. Yeah, totally. Like, I think that kind of like pulled you a little bit out of the story a little bit, but it's fine. Again, I think for what this was under the circumstances of the real life issues, I think the finale did its job.
But you know what? It made us laugh.
Yeah.
The Travis stuff, it did make us laugh.
It was so ridiculous that it was comical for sure.
So good on that.
I thought the burial and the farewell to John, I thought that was well done.
That was upsetting. The gravestones. I'm
at the
really
very
upset
end,
about that.
yeah, that's pretty rough.
I appreciate Mo putting that back up, but that's how you saw Elsa's name.
Yeah, for sure. But saying goodbye to John and the actual burial and the ceremony and everyone being there and what went down there, I thought it was really well done. I wasn't overly thrilled with how Jamie died. I thought I was anticipating him like facing the train station with like Rip and Beth there and like one final like fuck you kind of like I thought that would be a little bit more dramatic. It happened kind of fast.
Yeah.
But I mean,
didn't think she
again,
would stab him like that. But it makes sense now with the plan that took place.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean,
I thought Casey was going to be involved in that somehow.
I knew Casey wasn't going to be. Yeah.
The secret ops team.
No, I thought Casey's involvement when Beth said like I got this, like I think that detached him completely from it because it had to be her because of again the story and the situation that she created.
Totally get that, yeah.
But on the flip side of like me not being fully satisfied with it, it's totally within Beth's character to not have the patience to kill him immediately, like on the spot, get it done. Like that is like with the mood that she was in this finale. Once the like funeral of John was over, she went into a new mode. Like even the music hit. So like I didn't expect her to have a lot of patience in terms of like securing him and bringing him to the train station and then giving this big speech about like I think the way that she did it, it fit her personality and the way she does things very well. So overall, I think this show was absolutely incredible. Start to finish. This show had so much emotions, unforgettable characters. I mean, just so much from top to bottom. Watching the kids grow up was so insane.
Just
Tate
and Carter. Yeah. My God.
I mean, literally watching them grow up and like obviously having the time gap because I think the writer's strike or something had impact on this. But like literally seeing them grow is always an incredible thing to see. And again, the emotion. I mean, I don't think emotion has hit you harder in a full series from start to finish than anything.
No.
Game of Thrones is probably up there for sure.
Yeah. This was definitely worse than Game of Thrones.
I mean, it literally hit everything.
I cried almost every episode.
Yeah. I mean, the kids...
Like, literally from beginning to end... I think there may have only been like 2 or 3 episodes I didn't cry.
Yeah, it was wild. The way like they were able to incorporate everything, like obviously the animal stuff, the kids, the family, the connections, the old folks. I mean, the music did a really good job in this show of like starting to bring those emotions out every time something was going to happen. The music in this show was really, really great.
Yeah, I mean, like this is like Train to Busan, like deep crying.
Yeah. I mean, it hit literally every note. Nikki has a checklist of what makes her emotional, and this show hit every single one.
Yeah, animals, kids, and older people.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, even with the characters, when they're going through stuff, like Teeter doesn't check any of those boxes, but you grow to really care for Teeter.
But she's just a lovable character. Everybody disses on her, and it's like,
she's
fuck,
amazing.
dude, I'm just talking.
She was another one of those characters whose story arc was really cool and fun to watch.
And her love relationship with Colby, my God.
And like losing Colby, losing Colby and then seeing the way she responded to all that, like, yeah, you really, really grow to love Teeter very early on. And then when they even got trampled, like, seasons ago.
They've been
through
bonded ever since.
Yeah, so, I mean, this show managed to even get emotion out of normal things that probably wouldn't bring a lot of emotion out.
Well,
but it did a really good job.
Even like them bringing the empty horse in the ring.
Yeah.
Or with baby John.
Yeah.
And the horse passing away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
So much.
Well, I just watched a TikTok where a bucking horse rider, like they put like either his ashes or dust on the back of that horse, and that horse was bucking.
Oh yeah.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop it there!
The ceremonies and the traditions and the rituals that they go through.
The tribal things that
so
they did, those tribal traditions, just
amazing.
Even Mo just like singing over the land when they sold it.
100%.
Just beautiful.
Yeah.
Just absolutely beautiful.
So this show definitely, it's going to have its issues, but I'm going to remember it in a really, really positive light. It's
absolutely.
It's going to be up there with some of the best stuff that we've seen. I don't think it creeps into like the top 5 or anything, but it's definitely up there and one of the incredible shows. Again, unforgettable characters. The story was amazing. The visuals were friggin' epic. I want to take the family to Montana now and go visit.
But
like it's that type of thing. Yeah,
so.
Exactly. We're gonna
But we won't be staying in any condos.
Exactly. No.
No.
So I think overall the show was amazing, and I thought for what it was, I thought they stuck the landing as best they can in this finale.
Yeah. So now it's like Viking stuff. I'm gonna move down my pirate stuff and put cowboy stuff as a number 2. But Vikings, cowboys, and pirates.
Yeah. Some epic stuff there.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts as we wrap up?
No.
All right, we're gonna keep on rolling with the prequels. And yeah, again, I love the tie into 1883. We're like 3 episodes in, so being able to hear Elsa's voice, kind of give that call, like that was a really nice touch. I loved it very much.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm happy we were able to start that because that would have been really confusing if we hadn't started 1883 and then you see like this Elsa grave and then this random female voice starts speaking. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
About it in 1883, like, oh yeah.
Like, we didn't know what the hell's going on, but grateful that we started that and we understand that connection now. So yeah, really well done. So obviously you guys share all your thoughts, leave your comments down below, and we will keep on trucking with the prequels, but we will see you guys later for the next one. Have a good one. Bye.